Next, we'll do chart 2B, length over depth ratio, basically to find out what's the length over depth ratio for this selected FPSOs. So let's click on a new sheet. Let's label it 2B length over depth. Okay, so we have sorted out the various dimensions and switch them to the required data type. So let's put the length dimension on rows and then the breadth dimension to columns, or the depth dimension to columns rather. Okay, switch them to continuous for both. And there again we have the scatter chart. Click on analytics, drag the trend line over to linear, drop it. Next, drag the vessel name and mooring system type to the label icons chart. You can press the control button and drag both at the same time. And once I've done that, I mouse over to mooring system type, click right, show filter. So this is the filter for the mooring system. And if I were to mouse over to the trend line, this is the length over depth ratio, about 1.7. Okay, so this is how we create the length over depth ratio chart. And of course, if let's say we want to do a bit of investigation, we could put in construction type, we could put in country, we could put in class as well. So let's say I want to find out construction type. Okay, I mouse over to label, drop it, and then we show filter. So if I were to, let's say I want to check converted vessels length over depth. So I will just click on the conversion, and this is my trend line. And the length over depth is 10.7. And if I were to just select new build, yeah, we have to discount some of these outliers. Right? Let's say, for example, I want to exclude this Goliath. We exclude the other outlier. Okay, so what we have is a trend line of about 4.4. And I've undid the exclusion. So we need to investigate what's the issue with this SM Goliath. So if when I mouse over, you realize that the length, the depth is 107 meters. Very interesting. And if I were to go back to the previous chart, I mouse over to Goliath, the breadth is 107 as well. So basically, it's something like a shape. The dimensions are as though it's a cube. So if I were to do a Google search on Goliath, you'll realize that it's basically a cylindrical hull form, and this is by Savan Marine. So in our project, let me just scroll down. In our project, we have to create the various charts and then investigate, what are the outliers in the region, and then see what insights we could glean from these charts. And of course, we can overlay it with other factors, let's say conditions, weather conditions of the region, nature of the oil fields, government policies, company policies on deciding what type of FPSO for deployment. And then we'll be able to glean further insights as to how FPSOs are being procured and deployed in various regions in the oil producing areas. Okay, thank you very much.